Welcome to Defense Upcast, your daily deep dive into the defense strategy and geopolitics shaping tomorrow's world. A billion-dollar fighter jet program, payment delays, espionage accusations, and now a dramatic comeback that could reshape Southeast Asian air power. The South Korea-Indonesia defense partnership has been anything but smooth, yet in 2025, these two nations just signed a deal that proves sometimes the most troubled collaborations yield the strongest results. This is the story of how Indonesia and South Korea went from the brink of partnership collapse to forging one of Asia's most ambitious defense alliances. To understand this partnership, we need to go back to 2010. Indonesia, an archipelagic nation with over 17,000 islands, desperately needed to modernize its aging air force. South Korea, an emerging defense powerhouse, wanted to prove its technological capabilities on the global stage. The solution? The KF-21 Boramae fighter jet program, a fifth-generation fighter that would rival the best in the world. The initial agreement seemed straightforward. South Korea would fund 60% of the development costs, Korea Aerospace Industries 20%, and Indonesia would contribute the remaining 20%, approximately 1.6 trillion Korean won, or $1.2 billion US. In exchange, Indonesia would receive 48 advanced fighter jets and gain invaluable technology transfer through its state-owned company, PT Dirgantara Indonesia, which would manufacture fuselage and airframe components. But by 2019, cracks began to appear. Indonesia started falling behind on payments. By late 2023, Jakarta had contributed only 278 billion won, barely a fraction of what was promised. The reasons were complex: economic pressures, changing political priorities, and Indonesia's struggle to balance its ambitious defense modernization goals with fiscal reality. Then came the controversy that nearly destroyed everything. Indonesian engineers sent to South Korea to study the KF-21 program were accused of attempting to steal technical data. While an internal review found no major problems, the incident created deep mistrust between the partners. By 2024, the situation reached a breaking point. South Korea's defense minister publicly stated that Indonesia needed to honor its financial obligations or risk exclusion from the program entirely. Indonesia responded by requesting to reduce its contribution to just 600 billion won, less than half the original commitment, and stretch payments until 2034. Many experts predicted the partnership would collapse. The stakes were enormous. For South Korea, this was its first major international defense collaboration. Failure would damage its credibility as a defense exporter. For Indonesia, losing access to fifth-generation fighter technology would set back its modernization plans by decades. But in June 2025, something remarkable happened. At the Indo-Defense Expo in Jakarta, both nations signed a revised agreement that salvaged the partnership. Indonesia's contribution was officially reduced to 600 billion won, with an initial payment of 9.4 billion won already transferred and 30 billion won due within 90 days. So what does this mean for regional security and the global defense landscape? First, Indonesia still receives all 48 KF-21 fighter jets, and PT Dirgantara Indonesia remains involved in manufacturing critical components. This is massive for Indonesia's military capabilities. These aren't just any fighters. The KF-21 features advanced stealth characteristics, cutting-edge avionics, and the ability to carry a wide range of modern weapons systems. When these jets enter service starting in 2026, Indonesia will possess one of the most advanced air forces in Southeast Asia. Second, this partnership extends far beyond just fighter jets. During the March 2025 meeting between Indonesian Deputy Defense Minister Doni Hermawan Taufanto and South Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration Head Seok Jong-gun, both nations committed to expanding cooperation in drone development, missile systems, radar technology, and even submarines. Hanwha Aerospace and Indonesia's PTLEN are partnering on air and maritime defense radars with satellite applications. Third, the geopolitical implications are significant. In a region where China's military presence continues to expand and territorial disputes simmer in the South China Sea, Indonesia's enhanced air capabilities provide a crucial balance of power. The partnership also demonstrates an alternative model to traditional Western defense relationships, one based on technology transfer and joint development rather than simple procurement. Fourth, this collaboration opens the door for South Korean defense exports across Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. With Indonesia as a proven partner, other nations now see the KF-21 as a viable alternative to American F-35s or European Rafales, often at a more attractive price point with better technology sharing terms. Finally, this partnership proves that defense collaboration can survive even the most serious challenges. The revised payment structure, which accounts for Indonesia's economic realities while maintaining its industrial participation, may serve as a model for future international defense programs. From near collapse to renewed commitment, the South Korea-Indonesia defense partnership demonstrates that strategic necessity can overcome even the deepest obstacles. As Indonesian pilots begin testing the KF-21 and PT Dirgantara ramps up component production for 2026 delivery, these two nations aren't just building fighter jets, they're building a blueprint for how emerging defense powers can collaborate. In the 21st century, the question isn't whether this partnership will succeed. After everything they've overcome, that's almost certain. The real question is, which nation will join them next? If you found this analysis valuable, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Do you think more nations will follow Indonesia's lead in partnering with South Korea? Thanks for watching Defense Upcast, and I'll see you in the next video.